piece of your shit. What are you saying to me right now?
Get away, stop following me. Get away from me.
He just drills me in the face, like with an elbow, like boom.
I had to open the door really quickly, and he's like right behind us, and we slammed the door shut on him and locked the door. And the adrenaline was crazy.
Fight time story. So this is the time that I fought my neighbor in Harlem. It was 2017, August of 2017. In New York City, we were living basically below Columbia, so like at the corner of Central Park West and 111th. I would go run in the mornings up Morningside Heights. I was on my way back, I came back, and in New York, you have like the bell over here on like the left-hand side, right? Because I forgot my keys. So I had to push the bell in order to like get the door open. And Jacqueline was inside. And so I'm going to go push the bell, and there's a guy right there standing in front of the door. I was like, oh, okay, like he's gonna go into the building. So I was just going to like follow behind him, like, which I don't know, is that like new? I don't know if that's like proper etiquette that you can just like follow behind people. He stops me actually, and he says like, hey, you can't go into this building. And I was like, I live in this building. And he's like, okay, well you have to still ring the doorbell. He starts to walk in, and I start to push the door shut because you have to shut the door in order to ring the buzzer. And so I start to push the door shut and he turns around and he's like, are you pushing the door on me? And I remember like having my hands in the air like this. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, I'm just going inside, like whatever. And he just drills me in the face, like with an elbow, like boom. And like I can sort of like remember it, cause like he must've hit me with his, his right elbow. And I was like, oh my God.
So I had just woken up, and I was wearing, I remember, this really cute romper that I put on while Justin was out for his run. And I had like put makeup on, and I was like excited to like hang out with my boyfriend and have like a nice New York City summer day, because you know, I was like 21. So I'm feeling really cute and great. I'm like, it's gonna be a great day. I have my little puppy Meatball with me. I was living the life. And then the door rang, and I was like, oh, that's really weird, because usually Justin always has his keys. Even now, he freaks out when I forget mine because he's so responsible. I went to the door to let him in, and there's a little security camera so you can see who's downstairs, which is really common in New York. I like go to look at him and buzz him in, and all of a sudden I see this man like hitting Justin in the face, and Justin going back, and it cuts out, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I didn't know what to do. I was really confused. In my terror, just grabbed my phone, and I grabbed Meatball, who's like this big at the time, and I put him under my arm, and I run down the stairs because we lived on the 5th floor of a walk-up. And I run down the stairs, and I go outside, and I'm so confused because Justin, who's like not that big, has this gigantic like 6'2" man on the floor, like 6'2", kind of like brolic as well, on the floor like a little baby. And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, so what happens in New York, or what happens in my life, is that I'm short, and this has been, you know, like my whole life, because before I was short and fat, or like really fat, like obese fat. Although I guess maybe I'm obese now, I don't know. And and so what people don't know is that I'm actually like quite trained in Muay Thai, wrestling, and Jiu-Jitsu, and like generalized MMA. And so I think people don't understand this. Like a trained fighter would take down a huge human, like 2 times bigger than them, with ease if they knew what they were doing. And so what happened with this guy is I just had him down like within like minutes, not minutes, seconds, on the ground. Like I like snap him down, and I have him in a chokehold. And at this time I'm laying on my back like this. We're on the sidewalk, so he's like in between my legs, and I have him like this, and his head's here, right? And I'm choking him out. And like right here I see Jacqueline, and she's holding Meatball like this. And I just like, why did you bring Meatball to the fight? And she's yelling. I don't remember what she's yelling. I'm like, all right, dude, because I don't want to hurt him. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna let you up.
So I'm at the fight, and I'm holding Meatball, and Justin has this guy like this between his legs, and I'm really confused because I've never really seen a fight before, because I'm a baby. I'm like so confused and I'm holding Meatball and I'm like, just leave him alone. Just leave my boyfriend alone. Like, I don't know what to do. And then I'm like, should I call 911? And Justin lets the guy up and he keeps coming at him. So he puts him on the floor again. And I was like, oh my God, I guess he knows what he's doing. I guess Justin's going to be okay. Cause I don't know what's going on. I think maybe Justin's going to get hurt. And then there's little groups of people starting to form watching. And there's this guy on the sidewalk next to me and he's on the phone with 911. So I'm like, okay, I don't have to call 911 now because I couldn't, I was so frazzled. It's hard to like take out your phone when you're holding your puppy like an idiot. Anyway, so the guy is telling 911, it looks like the security guard at this building is attacking a resident because he had the security guard outfit on. And later we found out that he works as like a bouncer at a club, the Roxy, which is actually pretty popular in New York. So the guy's like, the security guard's attacking him. The security guard's attacking him. And I just thought that was crazy because I didn't know who this guy was either. So I was like, why is this dude who looks like a security guard attacking Justin? And he looked like he was drunk too. We can't get him to stop, basically. He won't listen to Justin. Justin's trying to tell him like, hey, I'm gonna let you up and we're gonna be cool. We're just both gonna walk away. And this guy gets up and he's kind of crazy and like walking around wandering. I'm just like, Justin, we need to get into our apartment because like he's not gonna stop. We start running up the stairs and I have my keys out. And obviously I think it's gonna be it. We're just gonna run up the stairs. This gigantic dude starts chasing us all the way up to the 5th floor, and he lived on like the 2nd floor, but he just chased us all the way to our apartment. I had to open the door really quickly and he's like right behind us and we slammed the door shut on him and locked the door. And the adrenaline was crazy.
And a few minutes later, we get a ring on the doorbell, and we thought it was the guy, but actually, like we're like, hey, and they're like, hey, it's the police. I'm like, oh fuck. We open the door, and the police officer's there. And I remember it was a woman police officer. She was there. It was really funny because there was probably 3 or 4 other police officers, but they're all like actually down the stairs a little, so like they didn't even make it to the 5th floor, and they were panting. They were. And respect to the police people, but it was funny. And they basically said like, hey, like we know who this guy is. He doesn't want to press charges on you. If you don't want to press charges on him, the way that's going to work is that like we can just leave. If you press charges, we have to arrest both of you. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm not going to press charges on him, like whatever. And so then they go away. At this point, I kind of thought it was all over. Jacqueline was a little nervous because obviously we live in the same building as this guy. Then what happens is after a few days, I end up walking in, and this time I have my keys, obviously. So I open the door, and the mailbox is like right here. So you have like the entrance of it, the mailbox is on the left, and there's a man here on the left. It's the dad. He's probably bigger than the son actually. And he comes up to me, and I don't think I knew him, and he's like, hey, you got in a fight with my son, and if you ever pull a knife on my family again, I'm gonna. He threatened us, and I was not very happy with that. And he's like, the only way that you could have taken down my son is if you had a knife. And that's what he thought, because like their egos were so fragile, they couldn't understand that. Like I wish I just saw the guy again, I would still beat him up. And then, yeah, like I go upstairs, and it's pretty calm for like the next like a week. Besides that, like nothing going on. Jacqueline's kind of scared to walk the halls because of like all the shit that's going on, but like we didn't have any issues.
I would like to vouch for my husband that even though he looks like a psycho, he's telling the truth. So the guy threatened us, and for like the dad of the man, and the man was like over 30 years old. He wasn't like a 20-year-old idiot. Like he was an older guy, and his dad was in his 60s. And yeah, so then basically we find out the dad lives there with the son, and I was terrified after they threatened Justin, and I was just scared every time I walked up and down the stairs alone, like when I was coming home from something, because I can't defend myself against these big dudes. Like maybe Justin can, but I can't. And you never know what they're gonna do to like the girlfriend, right? So I was freaked out, but nothing happened for about a month until it did. We had a roommate, Wes, who's one of Justin's closest friends and my friend now too. Our friend Wes had just met a girl that he started dating, who's now one of my really good friends, Allie. And Allie came over to our apartment for the first time. And we were like totally settled in. Justin and I were cuddling in the corner of the sofa. We were like, Allie, oh my gosh, welcome. We're so happy that Wes found you. You're so nice, whatever. And then the next day she was supposed to come back. Just telling you that for later. So whatever, we met Allie. It was really nice. She left for the night. And then we wake up the next morning and we're ready to have a crazy day because actually we were on our way to go meet up with Moshe, the person who scammed us and owes us over $80,000. So if you want to watch that video, look down in the description. The next day or within the next few days, news starts breaking that Moshe Lax owes Governor Cuomo like $10 million. So we're like, well, we're really low on the rung next to the governor of New York. But we're on our way walking to the subway to catch the train to go meet Moshe. And we see the guy. At first, like I had kind of forgotten what he looked like because it'd been over a month and I've never really seen him before. But he's talking to someone outside and then all of a sudden he looks at me and Justin, he goes, yo! And we're like, what's going on? And he's like, y'all those cop calling And I was like, oh my God. And he's like, cop calling get over here.
Jacqueline doesn't want me to like fight and get in more altercation, so we start running. And we basically run across the top of Central Park.
We dart across the street. We start walking really fast. He starts running behind us. We start running. We get to Central Park, which is like 2 blocks away. And we literally run across the entire top of Central Park. And he's running behind us screaming, cop calling, cop. I'm gonna get you. And everyone is looking at him and like, just like, what the, but the shit like this happens all the time in New York. And thank God, this really lovely taxi driver man. And this is not, we actually have another story where a taxi driver saves our life. But a taxi driver pulls over and he says, just get in.
At that point, it was like, it was starting to get really elevated because I didn't think that it would escalate again, right? It's because I was like, oh, whatever, we're gonna fight. It's been a month. I, at this point, had like no reason to think differently. But after this one, I was like, hey, like, I feel like we really need to talk to our landlord, the super, to get like, hey, like, what the heck's going on? And so I go talk to the super and he's like, also really strange dude, because I end up talking to him about a business opportunity because they were trying to like rent vending or ATM machines and they wanted to like create an application, like send people to go, yeah. Anyways, and so I ended up like waiting for this guy and we're talking and he was like, yeah, we should talk to his dad because we need to talk to his dad and his uncle to see like if we can get them all like organized. And so I'm just waiting there and then he's like, he sees on camera, he's like, hey, there's his dad, let's go talk to him. Jacqueline and Wes are upstairs in the apartment. I'm just there by myself. And so then we go outside and we're talking to the dad and he basically is saying like the same bullshit again, which was like, he was basically saying that I attacked his son and that if I attack his family again, he's going to like come to like my apartment and kill me and my family and stuff. And at that point, I don't know why, like the Middle Eastern in me, like, I was like, if you fuck near my family, I will And we start yelling and the son comes over and he starts to try to fight and like we are fucking screaming at each other and the super is now holding back the dad. The son is now yelling at me and I'm yelling at him and Wes and Jacqueline so loud that they hear it from the fifth floor, like in the window that like I'm screaming.
Why'd you take this walk? Since you always in front of the building with the shits.
Leave me alone.
Now you recording? Who you recording? Now you recording me? What too I can record and send to your shit. What are you saying to me right now?
Get away, stop following me.
What are you saying? I'm putting up my laundry. I'm putting up my groceries. Why was you in front of the building?
Get away from me.
Now Justin is downstairs running around in circles with these two men yelling at him, and I'm putting my head out the window and I'm like so freaked out. I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? What do I need to do? And Justin's like, don't you worry, Jacqueline, I've got this on camera. And Wes is like, I don't think anything's gonna happen. It's not a big deal.
I don't remember exactly how it happens, but we all break up, and then I go upstairs, and Jacqueline's like freaking out at this point because Jacqueline has like these more like crazy New York City stories where like, you know, the boyfriend was crazy and then killed them.
Justin always used to think that I overreacted, but I also think that I just have good intuition, and I know like when we're in danger and when we should like change something. And it was obvious that this guy had like a mark on Justin for tackling him, and that we were not gonna get out of this situation easily. So Justin comes up the stairs and I'm like, I don't feel safe here, we need to leave. We were thinking about moving to Spain actually in a few weeks from then, but we hadn't like gotten our visa yet or anything. But I didn't want to wait it out there because I literally thought this guy was gonna kill us. Like Justin, me, like they know who we are, they have a mark on us. People are crazy and this is how people get murdered, like literally. So Justin and I Justin comes upstairs and he's like, okay, whatever, let's move. So I'm like, so Wes is like, you're gonna move today, like now? And it was like 12, it was like noon, right? So we're like, yeah, shit, we got a lot of stuff. We better start packing. I had so much stuff. Like I had like 10,000 pounds of clothes, but somehow we packed up everything in our room, everything that was ours in that apartment, and we put it like into a pile in the middle of the living room. I called my parents who live in Staten Island, which is like an hour and a half away by taxi. And I'm like, hey, remember that guy Justin got into a fight with? Yeah, they're trying to kill us. So we're gonna come live there for a minute. And they were like, okay, sweetie, yeah, that sounds bad. So we go downstairs, we bring all of our stuff downstairs into the superintendent's office, and we're like gonna call an Uber to leave to Staten Island. And Wes is left alone in the apartment and he's like, okay.
I don't remember. At that point, I get inside, Jacqueline's freaking out. She basically doesn't want to live there anymore.
So we're about to leave and the landlord guy, the supers are like, why are you leaving? Everything's fine, like it'll be fine, just stay. And I'm like, no. And then they invite us in and we end up talking to them for a few hours about like how to make their app and how much we would charge to make this app and all this stuff. And I'm just like, really, right now? And Justin's like totally into it, like nerding out, always be working. And I'm just like annoyed. But then anyway, we leave, we get Meatball in the Uber, we get all of our stuff. We get to Staten Island, my dad helps us unload everything, and we move into my house that I grew up in. And at the time, Justin and I were not married. So we were not allowed to sleep with each other in the same bed. He had to sleep in the living room downstairs, and I had to sleep upstairs in my old bedroom, because Matt was in college by then, right? No, Matt was home too. Oh, I had to sleep in my brother's old bedroom before he stole my bedroom. Oh my God, yeah, I slept in like a little car basically. Justin slept downstairs on the sofa, which honestly is the better spot. There's spiders in that room though, so Justin said he had spiders on him at night sometimes because it's really low it's like the basement floor basically. And then I remember, and I always laugh with Allie about this now because we're friends. I'm just like, wow, you must have thought we were psycho because she came over that night and all of our stuff was gone. And Wes was like, and she was like, where are Jacqueline and Justin? And Wes was like, they moved today. And she was like, they moved in one day? Never underestimate how quickly you can move when your life is in danger. Okay, what did you learn from this experience?
What am I supposed to take from crazy people? I didn't start the fight.
I know, no one said you started the fight.
No, I didn't start the fight, so what was I supposed to learn? Should I
You learn to take yourself, I thought you learned, take yourself out of bad situations if you can. Do you think we made the right decision by leaving?
Oh yeah, we should have.
Do you think it was actually a dangerous situation?
Yeah, I do think it was a dangerous situation.
Why?
Huh? Okay, well, first off, the son lied to the dad.
He had a serious record.
Yeah, like he was previously in jail multiple times. He chased us, right? He kept pushing the situation.
Yeah, even though we were trying to baja it, how do you even say that, and lower the tension?
Yeah.
They were not interested in normalizing. They didn't have anything to lose, almost.
Yeah, they didn't care.
They were like, no, we'll just kill you.
Yeah, or like, again, like it just escalates. I think that these situations are bad because like he now comes home and he's drunk and he has a knife or he has a gun.
Yeah, we don't know weapon. Like, thank God there were no weapons involved yet.
Oh yeah.
Up until that point.
Stay safe.
All I learned, which is like, this is controversial to say, but my parents grew up in Harlem and the Bronx and Washington Heights, and they were like, and this is why we left.
They said.
And I feel like I loved that neighborhood so much. I loved living there, and we got chased the F out of that neighborhood. And then we lived in Staten Island for 2 weeks.
What do you think about me fighting to turn you on?
You're a great fighter, actually.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I think what I learned was I was shocked that Justin brought down this huge guy. And then it made me feel safer, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's why I continued to date him, because I was like, this guy can take care of me.
He's gonna be taken care of.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Okay, so I learned never bring your puppy to a fight, but to the next fight, I brought Reza. That story's coming soon. Bye.